Miami University and all Oxford community. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Kyle, your co-host for tonight's show. Welcome back to Miami Television News.
As many students are aware, this week is the Associated Student Government's student body presidential election. MTN reporter Caroline Mason was able to get us a quick interview with both presidential candidates and hear what they had to say about their platform and their goals and plans for campus. Make sure to head to the hub and cast your vote as the polls close today.
Hey guys, my name is Danny Martin and I'm running for student body president with my dear friend Kirsten Ostemo. And we just wanted to talk a little bit about our pillars and what we're running on. So we're running on civic engagement, community building, transparency, and leading from behind. And we really did want to stress and harp on our initiative Philanthropy Fest, where we would bring all the philanthropic and charity orgs on campus, bring them to Cook Field, and really give them an avenue and a space to represent and sell and give money and raise awareness for their charity and their philanthropy of choice, and then show not only the region, not only the state, but the country and the world as a whole that Miami cares about those outside of its bubble and those that we really do want to support and those that we really care about and advocate for. And now on to Kirsten to talk about our slogan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kirsten, and I'm running for student body vice president with Danny. And our slogan, when we were brainstorming, we came up with Your Voice, Our Mission. We thought it was kind of simple, but also very direct and straightforward into our values as leaders should we be elected on campus. And those really boil down to being a friend and a leader on campus, making sure every student has a seat at the table, making sure every student feels heard, feels valued, feels like they have a place and where that they can exercise their voice. And overall, we just thought that this slogan was a great way to do that, and also to reiterate to students that we'll stand with you through the storm out the other end. We'll stand up for you. We'll advocate for you through and through. And it's at the end of the day, it's your voice and our mission. And vote for us on the hub.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gracie Grady, and I'm running for student body president.
And my name is Naya, and I'm running for student body vice president.
And we're here today to tell you guys a little bit about our campaign and about our platform. So we are running on a platform of accessibility and equity, safety and public service, and career development.
So those things to us are sort of the things that we've noticed at our time in Miami have the most potential for student involvement, for admin involvement, and for development of the greater Oxford and Miami area.
The slogan that we're running with is committed to Miami, committed to you, because as Naya and I have been saying a lot on the campaign trail, we're not here to make false promises to the students, but we can say that we will be committed to you and the causes that are important to you and making sure that the changes that you want to see, that we can deliver those to admin.
A huge thing to us is making sure that you value your Oxford residency as much as you value being a Miami student, right? So our huge event that we want to throw on is Oxford Palooza. And the idea behind Oxford Palooza is that it's a community engagement expo. So we're bringing out local businesses, we're bringing back alumni, we're bringing out people like Zero Waste Oxford and TOPS, the Senior Center, so that you're getting your public service hours and you're getting internship opportunities with some of Miami's best and brightest.
We also have a real passion for the safety of students here at Miami. We want to make sure that students that live off campus are getting just as many resources for safety as students that live on campus. So we want to make sure that even if you live in the city of Oxford as opposed to on campus, you feel just as safe as you would living in a dorm.
And that's us. If you want to know more about us, follow us on Instagram at GracieandNaya_2025 and rank us #1 on the hub, March 17th.
Oh, March 17th, 19th. Sorry. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Today, Miami University students took to East High Street, home of Lewis Place and the Crawfords, to protest Senate Bill 1. Students blocked the entrance to the president's home, showing their displeasure with the bill. SB 1 was passed by the Ohio Senate February 12th and headed to the House for a vote today. The bill seeks to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion-related majors, minors, courses, and the creation of any scholarships related to DEI. This bill covers a lot of different topics related to DEI and some academic processes. As of 5 p.m., Senate Bill 1 has passed in the House 58-34 and is now heading back to the Senate floor to review changes made in the House. We encourage students to investigate the bill to fully understand what it might mean for them and students around the state.
On Saturday, March 15th, the Miami University Climbing Club held their annual bouldering competition at the Miami Recreation Center. Bouldering is a climbing technique where the participants are to climb with the bare essentials, meaning no ropes or harnesses are used. Climbers often will climb up to 16 feet, and the routes are covered with balance-based problems for the participants to maneuver around. The event was held from 6:30 to 9 p.m. and was free to take part in for any student. If you're interested in learning more about rock climbing at Miami University and to stay up to date with future climbing events, visit the Miami Outdoor Pursuits Center at the Miami Recreation Center or visit the Outdoor Pursuits website to learn more.
The recent U.S. federal layoffs under the Trump administration have impacted thousands of Americans, including remote employees. In this edition of Professor Spotlight, MTN talked to Jim Vinch, an adjunct professor at Miami, who had to choose between full-time work at the EPA in D.C. or full-time work in Oxford. Vinch chose Oxford and shares his ambitions for the future.
My name is Jim Vinch. I am an adjunct professor in the Institute for Environment and Sustainability at Miami. I've been really involved with Miami, obviously, teaching, and then I'm on the pre-law advisory board. Once I moved to Miami, I got involved in a local land trust organization called Three Valleys Conservation Trust. I called my boss the day after the election and said, I'm going to resign. I saw the handwriting on the wall in November when he was elected. My heart sank at that time and I knew what was coming. And she said, oh, you're being precipitous. Like, you need to wait and see what happens. But I knew exactly what was going to happen. And so I said, okay, I'll wait a couple months and see what happens. When I finally got the email that we had to return to work, by then it wasn't a surprise, but it still became, it was extremely disappointing. Like, I had poured my entire career into, environmental protection, and it's been a privilege to work for EPA, and to know that I was being asked to leave was a very difficult decision. So what's really great about living in Oxford, and what I didn't experience in DC, is a sense of community. So DC is a great place to advance in your career, right? Every professional opportunity is available to you. People work really hard, and so my career went great. But I look back on it and I look at my personal life during that time, those 20 years, and it wasn't so great. I mean, I was living in sort of suburban sprawl. I had a long commute every day. Things were extremely expensive. Traffic was terrible. And there was really no sense of community with your neighbors. It was really tough to establish long-term relationships. And so that was one of the things that drew me to Oxford, that I wanted a sense of community. I like to say that I'm a reluctant candidate. I didn't go seeking a job. I never thought I would be a politician, right? And so I was approached by various people in Oxford to run for council. I think they saw my professional experience working in the public policy arena, especially with environmental issues, could really serve Oxford well. And I had to think long and hard about it to make sure that I was doing it for the right reasons. I'm not doing this for personal ambition or to have control of the levers of power of Oxford. I'm really doing it to make Oxford a better place to live for me and everyone else. And so Oxford's already in good hands right now. Okay, so it's not like I have to come in. I'm not looking at this as an opportunity to come in and shake things up. I think things are on a great path. I just want to be able to participate and say that I have a stake in my community. The only place I've gone hiking here is Houston Wood State Park. My other passion is cycling. And so I do a lot of cycling, a nice 9-mile loop that runs around the lake. I still haven't gone out and discovered the perfect hiking trail, but that's something that's on my agenda for this summer.
Miami University's Club Ultimate Frisbee team, the Miami Boogeymen, hosted their annual spring tournament on Cook Field last weekend. 8 teams competed over 2 days, not letting wind and rain ruin what might be the last tournament ever held on Cook Field. Here's MTN reporter Emmy Houston with more on Spring Spook.
Hi MTN, I'm Emmy Houston, and I'm here with the Miami Boogeymen in their Spring Spook tournament. It goes on every spring, and it's their home tournament. So let's see a couple interviews from the team. Yeah, let's get started.
How would you describe the team's vibe or energy throughout the weekends for tournaments?
The energy's always there, whether we're up or down. There's always people looking to pick you up, keeping our heads up and just looking towards the next point. I think we prepare the same for both tournaments. Home tournament's a little nicer, there's not much travel going on. But the away tournaments, it's definitely, I think the hardest part is just getting everybody there. But once we're there, it turns out the same, and we expect good results every time.
So obviously it's the second day of the tournament. How did you guys persevere through the
weather yesterday? I know it was like rainy, windy, all that jazz.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday it was definitely tough. We had some delays with the weather, with some thunderstorms coming through. We started a little late, like an hour later, and it really turned into a nice day. It cleared up, and then we had thunderstorms come back in, so a little tough. We had to go into FSB for a little bit just to kind of hang out and brave the storm. But we played well. We played against Kent State in the second game, and we had to end that game at halftime. But I think we played well. It was a windy day, tough day to be out playing Frisbee, but we played well.
Like, a lot of the sentiment on the team is very, very is the same throughout. Like, we all don't really like that the field is getting torn down for a basketball stadium, just because not just used by us, it's used by the women's team and like a bunch of different intramural sports. And I know a bunch, like the baseball club team uses this field, the lacrosse club team uses this field, the soccer club team, like just any club team that needs a field, we all use this field. And I feel like that taking it away from us is just like kind of a disgrace, honestly. So.
The Boogeymen won 4 out of their 5 games, but lost to Akron, which cost them the tournament. And in a shocking turn of events, Oberlin won against Kentucky, sealing the Spring Spook win. And now, back to the studio.
The Miami Redhawks men's basketball team had an amazing season. In Travis Steele's 3rd year as a head coach, he got the Redhawks back to Cleveland, where they made a deep run in the MAC tournament. For more on Miami basketball, let's check in with Andrew for a Miami basketball update.
Hello and welcome to the Miami basketball update. My name is Andrew Elvis. Thanks for tuning in. For the Miami Redhawks men's basketball team, they had an excellent season. To start off, the Red and White set a season record for wins with 25 and finished the year 25-9. The Redhawks were 2nd of 12 in the MAC and had a great run in the conference tournament over the weekend. In Cleveland, Miami took down the Eastern Michigan Eagles 81-75 in round 1 on Friday. Cam Kraft led the Redhawks by scoring 24 points and made 6 of the 12 three-pointers in game 1. Round 2 was another classic as it saw Miami defeat the Kent State Golden Flashes 72-64. Peter Suter and Cam Kraft both were cooking as they combined for 40 points and an 8-point victory. Finally, in the championship game, Miami was bested by the Akron Zips 76-74. In that game, the Redhawks were up by 18 in the first half, but unfortunately went dry for the final 5 minutes. Miami had a chance to win it with just 30 seconds left and tied 74-74, but Evan Ipsaro missed a close layup with 6 seconds left, and this led to a last-second layup from Akron's Nate Johnson to give the Zips the win and their 2nd MAC championship in a row. Miami falls just short of going to the NCAA tournament and won't be in any other postseason tournaments. The Redhawks last made March Madness 18 years ago, so the drought will continue for at least another year. Despite the end result, this was a really exciting season for the Red and White. Miami is expected to retain a lot of talent that they had this year and should be even better next year with a strong recruiting class. Only time will tell how the Redhawks will turn out next year, but one thing is certain, the basketball hype is back in Oxford for the first time in a long time, and a sleeping giant in the MAC has finally awoken. Thanks so much, and now let's turn it over to Zoe with sports.
Thanks, Andrew. My name is Zoey Gutierrez, and this is the Miami Sports Update. The spring sports season is in full swing, and both the baseball and softball teams are having great years. First, for the Miami softball team, the Redhawks were 12-14 at the start of the week, and after sweeping Kent State last weekend, the vibes were high. On Tuesday, Miami faced off against the Marshall Thundering Herd for a MAC versus Sun Belt battle. This game would go back and forth as it saw the Herd jump out to a 9-1 lead in the 3rd inning. Miami wouldn't go down without a fight, as Jenna Goldman-Besky hit a huge grand slam in the 7th to make it a 10-7 game. Marshall would hold on to the win 10-7 in a really exciting midweek game. Miami falls to 12-15 and hosts the Dayton Flyers at home today at 2 p.m. Now swinging things over to baseball, Miami entered Tuesday with a record of 10-9. They won back-to-back MAC series against Toledo and NIU and hope to carry that momentum to Columbus on Tuesday against the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Buckeyes, however, came ready to play as they scored 7 runs in the first inning. Miami would fight back as they had 2 runs in the 5th from Ryan Novak and Blake Buzzio, and they followed it up by 4 straight runs in the final innings. First, it was Dom Krupinski who hit a huge 2-run home run in the 7th, and in the 9th, Ryan Novak ripped a mammoth 2-run home run to follow Krupinski's contributions. The comeback would be cut short as Miami fell to Ohio State on the road 14-7. Miami is 10-10 overall and will hit the road to face the Eastern Michigan Eagles for a 3-game set in Ypsilanti for the next matchup.
The time has come again for Oxford's annual tradition, Green Beer Day. The unofficial holiday takes place on the Thursday before spring break, starting tonight and carrying through tomorrow. Miami students in the local Oxford community will come together to enjoy and participate in the many festivities the celebration has to offer. The university and Oxford law enforcement advises everyone to make responsible choices, as there will be an increased amount of law patrol in Oxford's uptown and throughout the area. Whether it is your first Green Beer Day or you're a longtime participant, have fun and make safe choices. Thank you for turning into Miami Television News. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Ethan. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at MiamiMTN.